Hello, my creative friends. Miss Alycia here, and I'm so excited to have another week with you. Now, you'll notice I called you creative because you are. Now, usually when we think about creativity, we might think of writing or drawing or painting, and that is absolutely true. We can definitely be creative through those things, but there is so much more to creativity than just art. There's so many ways to be creative because you see, creativity is imagining what you could do because you were made in God's image. You see, God's creativity is indescribable. It's limitless and it goes way further beyond anything that we could ever imagine. But that also means if we are made in God's image, which I absolutely know is true, that means we are creative too. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I'm not good at art. So I told you, creativity expands far, far beyond that. And I want to know how you are creative. So maybe you can build, maybe you can draw, you sculpt, maybe you write, whether it's poems or stories or plays. Maybe you're really good at acting. Maybe you're good at asking creative questions. Maybe you're good at solving problems or organizing. Whatever it is that makes you creative, I want you to take a 5 to 10 second video or just snap a picture and show me what your creativity talents are right in the comment section below. Now, while you're thinking about that, last week we were in the book of Genesis and we learned how there is no limit to God's creativity. Today we're going to move over to Ephesians and we're going to talk about how God created us so we can be creative.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10.
When the Apostle Paul wrote his letter to the believers in Ephesus, he told them, "We are God's creation. He created us to belong to Christ Jesus. Now we can do good works. Long ago, God prepared these works for us to do." Let's see how that might play out in someone's life today. Nora Gray followed her older cousin, Sadie, around the pottery studio. Clay dust danced in the sunbeams from high up windows.
So I just stay at the desk?
Working at the Earth and Fire studio was Nora's first real job, and she wanted to get it right. Sadie grinned and pushed back her hair with a clay-flecked hand.
Mostly. A bunch of artists have memberships here, so they can use all the equipment and materials. You'll answer questions, take calls, make orders when supplies run out, things like that.
What's in there?
Nora pointed to an open door near the back of the studio.
Oh yes, the closet.
Nora led the way over. Sadie peered inside.
Wow.
The narrow room was lined on both sides with high shelves. Every shelf and every inch of floor space was crammed with a jumble of tools, containers of clay and glazes, cleaning supplies, and pieces of pottery, finished and unfinished.
How do you find anything?
So many people use the closet. Everyone just kind of has their own system.
Nora didn't think the disaster in the closet qualified as a system, but before she could say anything,
Oh, I gotta take this. Hello? Oh, hold on a sec. Where did I put my pen?
frazzled, Sadie checked her pockets. Nora quickly pulled a pen and notepad out of her neatly organized backpack.
Would this work?
Sadie snatched the pen and paper, mouthing, "Thank you," and headed for the desk. Nora surveyed the room. There were at least a dozen artists at work.
"You a potter too?"
Nora turned to see an older gentleman with a streak of clay in his curly white hair. His long frame bent nearly double over the nearest pottery wheel.
Me? No.
"Oh, I think everyone's an artist of some kind."
I can't even draw a stick figure. Sadie's just letting me work here till I go to college in the fall.
Nelson centered a lump of clay on his wheel.
"You'll see me here most every morning. I'm Nelson.
Nora.
Real nice to have you here. I'm working on a coffee mug if you'd like to watch."
Nora watched, mesmerized, as the spinning clay morphed from a stodgy lump to a smooth cylinder under Nelson's practiced hands.
I wish I could make beautiful things like that.
You want to take a turn?
Sadie tried to teach me. It was a disaster.
Nelson smiled, hands still working the clay.
I happen to believe that God made each of us to create beautiful things that matter. You'll find your spot.
Nora nodded, but she didn't think she'd ever create a piece of art that could make someone smile.
Nora, I want to show you the kiln.
Sadie reappeared, and Nora spent the rest of the day learning the ropes of her new job. By early evening, the studio had cleared out.
You go home. I can lock up at 6, just like you showed me.
Well,
And I can order more blue glaze, like you said.
if you think you got this, that would be great. I can get home early for dinner with the kids.
I'm good. Go, shoo.
With a wave, Sadie hurried out. Nora opened the supplier's webpage and started to order for glaze.
I bet there's still blue glaze in the closet somewhere.
Nora opened the door and clicked on the light. The mess looked even worse than it had that morning.
Is this glaze? Oh, it's those cans. And there's some over here and up there.
Nora edged her way around, collecting cans.
There's no way to know what's really here unless I can get it all together. I should clear a space. And I should stack those crates to group the colors.
Every time Nora moved one can or tool, she discovered 6 more that needed a place to go.
All the cleaning supplies can go down here, modeling tools and loops over there by the door. That's definitely trash. Oh, and there should be a spot for each artist to put their pieces that still need to be glazed.
One thing led to another, and another, and another. Nora finally realized she was hungry.
Where did I set my phone? Oh, here. 9:30.
Nora had been so focused on organizing the closet, she had completely lost track of time. She glanced with satisfaction at the crate containing 5 cans of blue glaze.
At least I don't need to order more glaze.
The next morning, Nora arrived a few minutes late. She rushed in, apologetic.
I'm so sorry, Sadie.
Nora broke off as she saw Sadie, Nelson, and several other artists grouped around the closet door.
Nora, did you do this?
Yeah. I should have asked.
Nora, this is amazing!
Nora took a step forward to take a good look at what she's done. Glazes and clay, tools and supplies, everything had its own spot in a orderly rhythm. With the morning light streaming in, it did look pretty cool. Nelson grinned.
Oh, it's beautiful, Nora. A real work of art.
A younger woman with hair knotted on top of her head chimed in.
Plus, we can find stuff now. I thought I'd lost this set of mugs.
You've made our work a lot easier.
Really? I guess. I thought anyone could do this.
No way. You have a real gift.
Can I organize the front desk?
Please, I'm raising your pay.
Nora happily tackled her next project, a well-organized desk. She was grateful to discover the truth of Ephesians 2:10 in her own life. We are God's creation. He created us to belong to Christ Jesus. Now, we can do good works. Long ago, God prepared these works for us to do.
God created you so you can be creative. Say that with me. God created you so you can be creative. You see, Nora was creative in organizing. She was really, really good at it. And she used that creativity to help the other people around her. So maybe you guys are thinking, okay, well, that sounds great, Miss Alycia, but I have no clue how I'm creative. That's okay. Let's start with thinking about the things you really like to do, the things you're naturally good at. Or ask a parent or a brother, sister, or a friend, what do they see in you? How do they think you're creative? And when you pray today, just ask God to show you new ways to use your creativity to help those people around you. God not only made you creative, but He wants to help you use that creativity. You can trust God no matter what, so you can always ask Him for help. There are so many forms of creativity as human beings. So don't judge your creativity by how creative other people are. Some of you might be really, really good with visual arts, while others of you are great at solving problems. I bet someone who's watching this is a great communicator, and you're good at helping others understand things. And someone else is probably good at planning a birthday party or directing plays. Maybe you do that with your brothers and sisters right at home. The possibilities are endless. So before you go today, I want you guys to stop as soon as this video is over and pray with those people around you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next Sunday.